This is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and yes, we're live as we are each and every Thursday. And we have a guest today. Sandy Long's going to be here talking about the Greater Gardner Relay for Life, and coming up on the 7th and 8th. And we also have an event coming up next week. A week from today at City Hall at 6. And we always do something special, and this is, sort of the reminder, the invitation, the teaser to say, get involved, come to Relay for Life. And we'll be talking more about that. And just so much else that's happening here in the city. And want to remind you that the Montechusett Chorale is performing their spring concert. And that's going to be this Sunday, which is the 5th of May. I can't believe we're talking about the 5th of May. And that's at 2 p.m. at the Tater Auditorium at City Hall. And all the proceeds will go to the Leominster Flood Relief Program. And just so you know, the sort of the theme this year, Scott, is going to be a tribute to armed services, but musical selections, and it's going to be the chorale goes Broadway. Oh, wow. Yeah. And during the war, how important the days when Jack Benny and so many others would go visit, and the troops and pump them up, and all of the music that came out during some of these shows, and the music was shared with the troops, and so that's coming up this Sunday at 2 o'clock at the Tater Auditorium at City Hall. So we hope to see you there. Just as a reminder, we're going to do What's Poppin' today? Yeah. We're going to do What's Poppin'. Okay, good. And our phone number hasn't changed. It's 978-534-1626. I don't know where it is today, but if calls, patch them through. And the Scouts are going to be, every year they sell flowers for Mother's Day, and they always have the most beautiful plants. But they also, they did Easter, and the plants were just beautiful. So they're going to have plants Saturday, May 11th, 9:30 to 3. Okay? 9:30 to 3. May 11th. We're already talking half the month here when we talk about events that are already a couple of weeks out. So today's only the 2nd, tomorrow's the 3rd. You add 7 to that, you get 11, and that's how we get the for some of these events here. Anyway, May flyer for the library is out. You can get it on their site. They have their own site. It's leominsterlibrary.org, or you go to leominster-ma.gov, and you can find out anything you need to know by going to leominster-ma.gov. All right, well, let's do this, because we've got a busy afternoon here. Let's take a short break, and then we'll come back. And I think, I don't know about you, but we always seem to miss spring. This year, we've gotten spring, and the flowers have just been like fireworks, and they've hung in there. We've had, usually a forsythia will come out in bright yellow, golden yellow, and will last a couple of weeks, if that, and gone. And we've been really fortunate because the flowers, we haven't had a lot of high winds, and the temperatures just been perfect at night and then during the daytime, and the flowers, the blooms, just everything is. There's azaleas, and now what's next. After the forsythia comes my favorite, which is the lilacs. You get enough lilacs, and you get the right wind. The wind's blowing in the right direction. You could be driving down the street in your car, and you smell you can actually smell lilacs, which is kind of cool. So anyway, we're going to take a short break, and we're coming right back here with more Inside Leominster.
Welcome this morning to the North Star Family Services groundbreaking event for the Journey Home project, a project that is over 6 years in the making.
Well, I wanted to thank everybody for coming. We ordered a beautiful day and we got it. So it's like, this project along over 6 years, there's been a lot of things that have fallen into place, such as this day. The weather, you couldn't ask for better. On April 8th, we cut the first tree. And now you see where it's come in two and 3 weeks, and we're off and running. So I appreciate everybody's support, and Adam will talk more about thanking people individually or as groups. But this is a true community effort. It's taken so many players to make this happen, not just financially, but just support to make it happen. So I just wanted to say thank you from myself for all of you out there that have helped me do this with North Star.
I'd like to thank all of you for coming out today. I'd like to thank everybody who made this project possible one more time. We are going to now call forward the folks that are going to be involved in the shovel for the groundbreaking. So when I call your name, please come forward.
All right. Say cheese.
Who's ready? 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Tell us what to do.
2.
Keep shoveling, we'll get the job done. Yeah, we can get the basement one way or the other.
Well, that was quick. Anyway, we're back here at Inside Leominster, and what a project. That's Marcelo Ave right up there in North Leominster, near the turnout, and it's going to provide 15 new units. And if you don't know much about North Star, it started off as the Montezuma Interfaith Hospitality Network. That was a network of churches in the area that would take in families, and so maybe take them in for a week, and then they would move to the next church. They emphasize a lot of training, credit recovery, just helping to get families and people back on their feet. And each of the churches were responsible for all of the meals. And again, then they would move on to the next church, and to the next church, and they would help them get stable housing, help them to get jobs. And then came North Star Family Services, which was able to take in 5 or so families and do more intensive training, credit recovery, just everything they needed to get back on their feet. The only problem was when they were ready to go, there was no place to go. There's no apartments. So they're going to build some units here, and they'll be able to move people through the program quicker. They also provide support after the families leave, and have a really good success rate. So that was a really fulfilling afternoon or morning down there on Marcelo Ave to do the actual groundbreaking. We had some fun and some laughs, and on our way. So they are doing some site work, and it's going to be a good project. If you're heading to the library tomorrow, There's nothing special planned, but on Saturday they're doing drop-in magnets and keychains at 2:30, and then as always we're open until the summer. We're open until from 1 to 5 on Sundays, and then kiddie music at 10 o'clock on Monday. So things move quick. All right. Well, Sandy's here. Sandy Long is here for our yearly visit, right? Our yearly visit here to Inside Leominster, and already that we're talking, graduation for Leominster is June 1.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Talk about just moving right along, as they say on the markets.
I have a grandson graduating May 18th from college, so I'm not too sure how we got him through, but it's really.
Well, I could be in that same call. Anybody can be in that same call.
Yeah.
Where did he go to school?
He's down at Worcester State.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And he's going to have 4 years?
Oh,
that's outstanding.
He's a good kid. He really is.
He's going to have 4 years, get the degree. Once you get the piece of paper and you get the degree, that's it.
Something I never did, so I'm very, very proud of.
Good for him.
3 of them have gotten degrees. So.
Wow, there you go. I mean, for a lot of kids, it's like, I don't really want to go to college. But, I remember they used to say 20, 25 years ago, it's going to be lifelong learning for whatever it is that you do. And
Definitely.
So true, right?
77 years old, I'm still learning.
And you will continue to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, that's really, the world changed so fast today.
Yeah. I keep telling my kids that I feel like I'm in a totally different world and it's one I don't belong in. They say, oh, Ma, don't, But it is. It's changed so much.
It changes a real lot and real fast. Anyway, 7th and 8th of June. And tell us about this, because not everybody knows the history about, Relay for Life in this area.
Right. In 1985, a doctor by the name of Gordy Klatt wanted to do something for the Cancer Society. He wanted to raise some money. So he was a runner. So he decided to run a marathon. And that year alone, he raised $27,000.
Wow.
That's back in the 80s, so that's a lot of money. So the next year he decided that he wanted to try to make this a little bit bigger, and a committee was formed, and it became the 24-hour Classic Marathon, I think it was called. And it's become worldwide. This is our 31st year of doing it in Gardner. And it's a remarkable thing, Everybody's looking for money. All charities are looking for money,
of course.
and you have to decide where it's going to go. We've all been.
Some things are personal to people. They've had a family member, and with an illness or it passed away, and so they kind of put their energies towards one particular thing.
Right. We've all been affected by cancer in one way or another,
right.
And one of the main things that I want to emphasize is that 81 cents out of every dollar goes back into research and patient care. 81 cents. It ranks them as number 4 in the Charity Navigator, with 4 stars in the Charity Navigator. And the money that we raise comes back here. In fact, I've got some figures that I thought were amazing. In the last 20 years, Relay for Life Greater Gardner has sponsored 245 research grants totaling $92.9 million in Massachusetts alone. And then currently we're sponsoring 63 grants totaling $37.4 million just here in our own state. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the Greater Gardner Relay, and it's called the Greater Gardner because we hold it in Gardner at Mount Wachusett Community College, but it's all of the areas. We've had some people from Maine come down. Some of the other relays have fallen by the wayside because of not enough people. They've joined our relay. It's one of the biggest ones in New England. If you've never gone, I keep saying this, but when I went up there, I thought it was. You walked up a mountain, because they kept saying Mount Wachusett. I was thinking it was the mountain. I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to walk up any mountain, But when I got there, I was greeted like I had been there forever. People are so loving and caring, and by then we've raised most of the money. There are things going on during the relay,
Right.
raffles and things like that.
But there are people doing things year-round.
Oh, we start, well, the Event Leadership Committee doesn't really stop, maybe
Right.
for a month in July, but
Right.
then back in August we start again, and we go all the way through. The teams and their captains and things like that, they go, usually they start around November, December, thinking of ideas. And you talk about flower sales. One of our bigger teams, two teams has 2 flower sales every year and raise a ton of money for relay. So, think outside the box. Think of all the things you can do.
Sure.
And
things change. I know, we're doing our citywide cleanup now. We used to have it on a Saturday, first Saturday in May, and we'd get a lot of people. And everybody would take a different section of the city, and we'd go out and clean it. Well, then came kids' sports, and it just got busy. So people we'd still get a good crowd, but a whole lot of people were, we really wanted to be able to do this. We'd like to take our kids out. We want them to see what this event is about. So we had to adapt in the sense that what we do now is you pick the date. If you don't have a location, we'll get you one. We'll give you the bags. We'll give you the gloves. We'll give you the T-shirts. We'll give you everything. And then you go do it, leave the bags there, and we pick them up.
oh, that's incredible.
So it actually increased the amount of people and families that were participating. And it's the same thing with Relay for Life.
Yes.
People's lives are changing. It used to be Friday night, Saturday, and then you go into Sunday morning, correct?
Right.
And that's a lot. And,
Yeah, we changed the hours a little bit.
Because people are committed to so many things. And, if, when I was growing up, you go to a baseball game, your friends, there's hardly anybody there hardly anybody there watching Little League. Now, you could get 200, 300 people watching Little League game.
Yeah.
So not only does the child go, and the parents and their brothers and sisters, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, if they have another family, maybe their family has another family, so they go on the other side. So now it's hundreds of people going to watch a 4th grader play baseball.
Exactly.
And not only that, there are so many more sports, field hockey and deck hockey and flag football, and it just goes on and on. So you got to adapt a little, and that's what you've done. So if somebody wants to come, and it's still an opportunity to pitch a tent, the team comes down, they stay over, they walk 24/7, right?
Yeah.
They walk during the night. You can still do that.
Yes, you can. We're looking for teams. We're always looking for new teams.
Yeah.
And we're also looking for the teams that perhaps left because of COVID and didn't come back again.
Right. But you still pushed through this through COVID.
Last year we raised $185,000.
That's amazing.
And that was like the second year after COVID, and people were still a little leery of coming back. So it's perfectly safe up there. We clean constantly. Somebody's walking around all the time, cleaning up and hydrating and things like that.
So very well organized up
there. If you've never been to Relay, come to the opening ceremony at 6 o'clock on Friday night.
Yep.
We have one of the most inspiring things to me, and Paul Canavino and I worked on it.
Oh, Miss Paul, huh? What a good man.
Oh,
he was a good person, huh?
He was awesome. He was just, he could be gruff. When I first met him, I was a little scared of him. But
that's just so you stay focused. He doesn't let you drift off.
We were talking one day about trying to get the younger kids involved, and he went to the athletic directors of all of the high schools around here and got the cross-country teams to run to Relay. So like Leominster would run to Crocker Field and join Fitchburg and so on and so forth. We've lost schools along the way, so if any team would like to join us, we're definitely looking for teams. If you want to become a team, you can go to relayforlife.org/Greater, GTR Gardner MA, and you can sign up there. If you just want to sign up as a survivor, we're looking for survivors, as we've we've lost some along the way, not so much by
Some people move away or move closer to their kids.
And again, a lot of people are not sure we're still doing it, or not, a little bit afraid, or afraid they're committing to something.
Well,
you're not committing
especially if
to
you're
anything.
recovering, or it's only been a short time, and you start thinking about, you're like, I don't know, COVID's still around and all that. I'm talking to Sandy Long, and she is a volunteer and an organizer of the Greater Gardner Relay for Life. It's coming up June 7th and 8th at Mount Wachusett Community College. It's not at the mountain.
No, it's not the mountain.
and she's referring to the opening ceremony. As I said, this moves. When they say it starts at 6, I've been up there times when I couldn't find parking, and you better be there by 6 because they start at 6, and it's very organized, and they have an opening ceremony. They have the Gardner Band is usually there. The veterans usually are there to kind of do the posting of the colors, and then if you're a survivor, they have a survivor's walk, which the first time I went, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And they sort of line it up with people who are like 1 year to 2 or something, and then it's 5, and then but it gives you hope, because there's a whole lot more people who are out there after 5 and 10 years and 20 years, and you're like, wow, look at, And
it's amazing. We've got one of the girls this year. She is going to the next category, and she's so excited because she's going to the, she survived 5 years.
And now that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Because the odds go up after 5 years, right? I mean, the odds go up. And so you could participate in the Survivor's Walk. Tell us how that happens, because you get a shirt. You got to pick the shirt up, so you got to know where to get it.
No, they're sending it to you.
Oh my goodness!
We've even streamlined getting shirts. If you're a survivor, the minute you hear the word you have cancer, you're a survivor. So what you do, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You call 800 ACS 2345. And I believe it's option 4, but listen to the prompts, and you'll get a person. 24/7.
Wow.
And you just tell them that you're a survivor for the Relay for Life Greater Gardner. They'll take the information, and it's not given out to anybody else. Right. It's covered under the HIPAA laws and everything. Mm-hmm. And they will send you your shirt.
Wow.
If you've already been signed up with us before, your information is still in the computer, and it takes like 3 minutes. I thought, oh, I can't do this, and all. I did it, and if I can do it, anybody can do it.
And then you get the shirt, and then the night of. Now, maybe, as I said, people get busy. So maybe, and it gets busier as we get into the months of May and June. I look at my schedule, I'm like, there goes May, there goes June, there goes July. There are a couple days in August, maybe we can get to the beach, Tara and I. And then, so maybe people can't stay, and maybe you're a survivor. If you're a survivor and you've never participated, bring your family, call in, get your shirt, bring your family with you. It is probably one of the most emotional experiences.
It's incredible. It really is.
It's not easy to describe, I guess, unless you're one of the survivors mostly, or their families, or their caregivers. And then, right? I mean, it's a big deal.
In years gone by, when I first started with Relay, there were over 500 survivors walking the track. Through many different reasons, though, we've lost quite a few people, again, from illness or from.
I remember by the time the first person left, by the time they get back, that last group was leaving.
Exactly.
So come on out, and the other thing is, it's for you, and it's you for your family and caregivers, but it's for the rest of those that are out there who might be in treatment, who might be getting chemo or radiation or treatment of some sort, and it's been tough for them, and maybe it's their first year, and they're thinking, geez, am I going to make it to the 5th year? It's also a moving experience for them to know everyone else is out there in similar shoes.
Someone to talk to. It gives you the hope that, sometimes, and that 800 number, again, 800 ACS 2345, it's a perfect number to call 24/7. and I've said this so many times, when my mother was going through her first bout with cancer, I'd wake up so many times in the middle of the night. How am I going to get her to her treatment? How am I going to do this?
She's having side effects. Are these normal? Maybe she has the flu. Should I give her this to eat? Should I give her this to drink?
Exactly. And survivors and caregivers can call that number, and you will get an answer right away.
Yeah.
It's because it's people that have either gone through this themselves or that have been involved in it for many, many years. They know the answer to just about everything.
Yeah.
And if they don't have it right, then they'll definitely get it for you.
Now let's talk about, we have an event coming up next week.
Yes, we do.
Very quickly. And it's called Light the Town Purple, and we started doing it here. And it's a promoter, it's a teaser, it's to get people thinking about it. But I don't want to miss the opportunity. I know we were talking about flower sales and things that you could do. Maybe there is something that you can do. Maybe you can have some sort of a contest, or maybe if you have a business, you can have a raffle. And there are things that you can do to raise some money. And there are some people that have a yard sale, and they leave a couple $100. Well, guess what? Those couple $100 or a couple dollars, kids that have a lemonade stand, and they make themselves $20 or $40 and donate it to the Greater
Think
Gardner.
how many people lives you can impact by just that amount.
The advancements. Now, I know there are cancers that you can get. Obviously, you get diagnosed, and they've made strides, but there are so many stories out there of how fast technology is changing. And we have a business in town. They're making the silicone forms for, I guess it's platelets or whatever, so they take them out, take your bad sort of DNA or blood out of you. They filter it through to get rid of the cancer, and they send the good cells back into your body. So you're with the treatment, right? With the treatment, so that's what's happening. I mean, so much. Remember before, if you got chemo, everybody would say, "Oh, you get sick. Oh, you feel terrible," and that's could still be the case.
Yeah, some that you have.
They've come up with new pharmaceuticals, new drugs to help to offset the nausea and some of the side effects. And nobody's saying it's easy, but with the money that's been raised in this area, it's made a difference.
It definitely has.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to learn about that, making the plastic things here in Leominster. Just
right here.
You have to be so proud of the city, everything that everybody does and of course you.
Oh no, it's a wonderful. I mean, people say, "Oh, you guys are doing a good job." I'm like, it's a good city. It's good people. The greatest compliment we get is people that moved here, say in the last 2 to 5 years, and unsolicited say, "I feel like I've belonged here my whole life." And what's the important word there? Belong.
Exactly.
And they say, "I come from another community. It's a beautiful community. It's a great community, but I never felt like I belong there. Like here, I feel like I belong here." But people are very generous. And as we said, you're raising money for cancer. Somebody's raising for the heart. Somebody's raising for Parkinson's. Somebody's raising for pancreatic cancer. Somebody's raising money for, the 1,000 different things that might be out there that people are, autism or whatever, might be raising money for. People are very generous here.
Yes.
Right? They may not have $1 million to write you the check, but they can help
in
their own little way.
Look at Kathy DeRusso, how much money she's made over the years for Susan G.
And
Komen. She's absolutely incredible, and that's it's just awesome what the people will do here.
So if anybody has any questions, next week we do an event. We'll be doing it live hopefully live. I don't know, Scott, live from the front of City Hall like we always do. And we'll have our paddy wagon, our old refurbished paddy wagon with our Light the Town purple decals on it. And we're all dressed in purple. And, we'll have refreshments out there and we'll do it. And we're doing it at 6 o'clock. The show's now at 4. We used to start at 6:30. Boy, that sun could hit you up front. But we're going to start it at 6 o'clock. So stop by. And it'd really be nice to see people. And the other thing is we have our cancer bell for those that are in remission or maybe fighting cancer, or maybe you want to ring the bell. That's a perfect opportunity. We always have a few people, quite a few people that will come up and ring that bell, as they say.
It's an honor to a lot of people that
It's like a journey. Like I made it, and walking up the stairs, you feel like Rocky. And you're walking up the stairs, and you're like, I'm going to ring that bell, And as you're walking up the stairs, they're thinking about the journey they've had,
Yes.
the people that have been there, the doctors, the nurses, everybody in the healthcare industry, everybody that's helped them to get through that journey so they could walk up those stairs and ring that bell.
Exactly. And
quite a thing.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you've done for
well,
what all of you have done.
None of us know.
Especially the girls with the fire engine. I don't think I will ever forget that fire engine.
That was something. Wendy coming around the corner with the fire. That thing has seen its day, I think. I don't know if they got any more life coming out of that, but we'll have to come up with a helicopter or something that's purple. But it does, and it makes a difference. And I think people want to know. We should let people know that they're constantly coming out with advancements, and this,
Yes.
the DNA of the world has really changed things. And you may be participating this year and raising money for somebody else. That could be you. That could be you.
It could be.
You could be on the committee. You could be helping, and the next thing you know, you or somebody in your family has been impacted by it. So it's just one of those things there, and there's never a bad feeling that comes from supporting the Relay for Life.
It's remarkable, and if you would like to join the committee, you can come up to Relay, and we can sign you up for next year. Again, you're not making that much of a commitment.
No.
Okay.
No.
And you can do as much or as little. I was just going to be a gopher on that day,
And
that was like 12 years ago.
And it's just something sucked you in, huh?
The feeling that you get talking to these people, every year that I think that I'm going to quit because I've gotten too old, it's getting too much, whatever, someone will come into the store where I work and they'll somehow or other will get talking about it. And
this is my last year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, sign me up for another year. This will be my last year.
Yeah.
Well, thank you and everybody. I'm always amazed. It's brought some special people together that you didn't know.
No.
And now you have these friendships forever.
It's my Relay family.
Yeah, and it's quite a thing. So thank you to everybody, and maybe you're thinking about something that you could do. We're having a citywide yard sale coming up. Maybe a percentage of the proceeds could go to that. Maybe you have a business, and a percentage of the proceeds could go to that for that day. There are a number of ways that you can support, and it doesn't. If you got $5, 5 people turns to 25. You got $25, 4 turns to 100, right? It really does make a difference.
It does. Every dollar that you have that you could send would.
So we're going to keep promoting it. And once again, I thought I was my tie all set and everything. It's just been, honestly, it's been.
You're forgiven this year.
I missed breakfast, lunch today. It's just it's that time of year. It is that.
It gets a little crazy.
Time of year. It's just going to be busy. There's no way around it. And until I don't know when, because we've got Johnny Appleseed's birthday this year, 250th.
Oh my goodness!
So we got that to plan. A bunch of things that we're doing centered around that. So it's all good. It's all good. All right, taking a short break here. That was Sandy Long from the Greater Gardner Relay for Life, coming up June 7th and 8th at Mount Wachusett Community College. They start at 6 o'clock.
We start.
All right, I'm just telling you.
Survivors can be there at 3:30.
Okay, but I'm just telling you, they start at 6. And sometimes a little challenging, you get a little there's parking, but sometimes it gets a little challenging. So if you think you're leaving Leominster, it takes 20 minutes because GPS says it, you're going to find the perfect parking spot. Did you ever hear my theory about parking?
No.
At church. For some reason, at events and church, when people are late, they always drive by. If you've never noticed this, Scott, they always think there's like a parking spot left for them. Now, everybody else has already been there for an hour and a half. And they're the ones that show up late. And for some reason, they don't park like, this place is packed, I'm late, I'll park way out back and run in. No, they drive up front as if there's a parking spot waiting there for them. Am I right?
It is so true.
It's so true. I went to this event, and I got there late. I parked out back, but I saw a bunch of other people pulling in, and they were going driving through the parking lot as if, they start up front. Excuse me. Yeah, here's your parking spot. We knew you were going to be late. This is for all the people that show up to church late. These are your parking spots. We reserved these 5 parking spots because every week you show up late. No, park way out, off it in, right? Well, anyway.
That's so true.
It is. I'm telling you, it's true. Everywhere I go, I watch. And not that I haven't done it myself. I don't know what it is, but you just, for some reason, you're like, yeah, let me drive. I think it's maybe somebody left.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody left or something. Maybe somebody got called out or I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we're back with more Inside Leominster at 978-534-1626. And don't you worry, because we got what's popping today. It's the only way that you can stay in touch with generations, millennials, generations X, Y, and Z, right? Yeah. All. I mean, if you know, it's moving so quickly. So we're going to do that as soon as we come back. And we will come right back.
What's
Hi everybody, I'm Nick Kremp. I'm the conservation agent in Leominster, and today we're taking a look at Lincoln Woods, our very own wildlife sanctuary managed by Mass Audubon here in Leominster off of Union Street. So here we have one example of a vernal pool. So vernal pools are temporary wetlands that will seasonally fill up with water during the late winter and spring, and will sometimes completely dry out and drain in other parts of the year, like in the late summer. And vernal pools, because of this unique feature, they host many different unique animal species, especially amphibians, and many different specialized invertebrates, because these pools are basically free of fish. So fish are large predators that will typically feed on things like little invertebrates and amphibian tadpoles and amphibian larvae. So these vernal pools offer protected habitat for the development of those species.
See that? I'm already getting texts and messages here saying, yeah, you're right about people that are late. They think there's like some special spot waiting for them.
Yeah.
You're late. You got to park in the worst spot there is, the furthest from church or whatever event you're going to. There's no valet parking. Right?
Any ice cream place.
Yeah, well, they might think that, there's a spot there. I mean, I've been pretty lucky. I mean, I've had to go to an event, but I've gone to places where there's a lot of people, and it's just pull up, and all of a sudden somebody's pulling out. Like, wow. Can we take that call? Is somebody there?
Hey, Leo.
Hi, Crystal.
How are you?
Good. We saw Crystal this morning. We had a 1,000th morning briefing. 1,000.
Yep.
Crystal was there with a company shirt. And there was quite a few people there for 9 o'clock in the morning. They stopped by. Tara provided some refreshments, and we were at Belladonna at 7 Park Street, downtown Leominster, with a beautiful store.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes. Everybody was happy to see Crystal. Crystal remembers everybody, knows their first name, last name, social security number, date of birth, the safe number, what the number is to the safe so you could crack the safe. She knows it all. It's amazing.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, Crystal, take care. Good to see you. Yes. And we're back here, and our phone number hasn't changed at all, right? It's 978-534-1626. And let's see. Let's do what's popping first, and then I'll tell you about this weekend and other things that are happening in and around the city. And let's do it.
You got your remote right next to you?
I'm pumped. Did you hear me back there? I'm pumped on what's popping. All right. Geez, I can't really see all this. But the top 10 of the week. Drum roll, please. April 29th. Ryan Gosling attends the Fall Guy premiere with a full stunt team in Saturday Night Live's Mikey Day.
Mikey Day. Because they did the Beavis and Butthead sketch.
Oh, yeah.
They showed up dressed in costume.
Oh, that's what somebody was talking about.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Saturday Night Live and how, I mean, obviously more people used to watch it years ago. Now it's a smaller audience, so when they talk about somebody, they got to make sure people know who it is that they're kind of busting on. So that was April 29th. On April 30th, LA Airbnb recreates the house from Disney's Pixar Up that is 50 feet in the air. Was it really 50 feet in the air?
With balloons.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
How do they do that?
They used a crane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, when I first saw the coming attractions to Up, I didn't quite get it. And then
The first 10 minutes.
I watched it,
Yeah.
which sucked me into the next 10 minutes.
Yep.
And I think I've seen it 3 times now. It's like one of my favorite movies.
It's really good.
I don't know how to explain it. Is there a way to explain it? Or just tell people watch it, but don't shut it off right away?
Watch the first 10 minutes and you're sucked
Right,
in.
right. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So hang in there nothing big is going to happen. It's just kind of like moseying around and some grunting and visuals.
Well, they used the first 10 minutes of that movie for the Try Not to Cry challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
But after that, you hang in there. May 1st, the Independent Film Festival Boston starts at the Somerville Theater in the, is it the Brattle?
And the Coolidge Corner.
Oh, so that's what kicks it all off May 1st. That's a long-standing tradition, this film festival. And there are a number of film festivals in other places like Peterborough, New Hampshire, but this is a big one.
This one predicted for at least 10 years, at least 5 movies that were going to be nominated for Best Picture.
Wow. I know The Parenting hasn't been released yet. Now, that was filmed up at the Doyle Estate, and I keep looking, and there's no date. I guess a lot of it is timing. Now, interesting enough, Hallmark has done so well with those holiday shows, which seem to be you can almost like write the story, and it's a divorced lady, or it's tired of the stress and Wall Street and the job, and they end up in a town somewhere that needs some help, or the business is going bankrupt, or whatever, and they meet somebody special, and they usually have kids, and they end up making those kids part of their family. Right? It's usually the same MO.
Yep.
Well, other people have begun to sort of jump into that market because those are very predictable. So you know how much the movie's going to cost you to make. They have a budget. But they also know what that's going to bring you back in revenue. And I don't know if you ever heard of Sight and Sound.
Yeah.
Sight and Sound is in Pennsylvania, and it's a live performance. And they're biblical. So they had David, and it's Jesus Christ. They're biblical. And like you're sitting in Sight and Sound when a horse runs down the center aisle, or there could be goats. This is like 3-dimensional. Right there, it's all live.
Wow.
They are now producing biblical stories for the holiday that cost about $3 million and bring in double that. So in other words, people looked at that model and said, okay, they're doing this and everybody ends up on the farm, but let's take another approach to this. So it's pretty interesting how it's all going to play out. They're going to have some competition. Today, the Broadway musical Wicked, which I need to go see and I haven't, celebrates 20th anniversary, making it one of the longest running shows ever. What else was a long-standing one? Blue Man Group is a long one.
Rent was a long one for the longest time. Phantom
of the Opera.
I think Phantom of the Opera. No, that ended last year.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Well, you have another generation of people that never saw. Have you ever seen Phantom of the Opera? No. See,
No.
Generation Z has not seen Phantom of the Opera.
Wow.
Right? But somebody's going to go and say, you've got to go see this. This is amazing. It's what is it? Phantom of the Opera. They think it's like a Beatles song. Generation Z listens to that Beatles music and thinks it's a new band, or they listen to old disco music and figure, they're like, hey, did you hear this song? Right?
Right.
So anyway, 20th year of Wicked. I got to get out to see it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, is it good? Worth going? Everybody says it's good.
Yeah, I saw it at the Boston Opera House like in 2009.
I promise my mid-year New Year's resolution or mid-year resolution is to see it before the year comes to a close. Next slide, please. Oh, I'm in charge of the slides. Sizzling for facts. Generation Z is a snack-loving generation. Recent studies show that a quarter of Generation Z snack more than once a day. Well, yeah, I would hope so. But they're also look for snacks that appear healthy. They might not necessarily be healthy. Compared to previous generations, Generation Z isn't as interested in dining out at restaurants. I agree.
Yep.
I agree. Only 33% of Generation Z considers themselves skilled cooks, compared to 47% of millennials. I agree. And I don't know if they care to cook. You know?
I love cooking.
No,
So,
but some people, I just
yeah.
don't know. They just like, no big deal to me. Cooking at home is the norm for these younger generations, with Generation Z cooking in an average of 5.9 days a week, and millennials at 6.7 days a week. So that's okay. And healthy. They look for healthy options. Or should I say, ones that appear to be healthy. 17% of Generation Zers do not eat breakfast on weekdays. 70% of baby boomers say they cook dinner at home from scratch every Sunday. 44% of Americans say they meal prep regularly, and 75% of Americans snack at least once a day. I think that's higher than that.
Yeah.
But hey, let them eat cake. In recent years, studies found that more than half of the millennials say they are motivated to bake as a way to spend time with their loved ones, the most of any other generation. You think so?
Yeah. Baking is huge.
More
for
than
Gen Z.
boomers?
Yeah.
Generation Z is it Generation Z as a more health-conscious generation are changing traditional recipes by incorporating ingredients like almond flour, coconut sugar, and avocado, and more of those gluten-free kind of options. But you know, the thing that gets me is, what happened to cauliflower? That was the rage. You couldn't get cauliflower. Then it was
There's always
something
a
else.
trend, Dean.
Then it was a certain kind of rice.
Yep.
Then it was a certain kind of this and a certain kind of vitamin. And they go away. What happened? I thought they were going to, you know? We are very trendy. Generation Z are watching the greatest British Bake Off more than any other TV shows. Is that true? Generation Zs? Wow.
I love the Great British Bake Off.
I don't know. I've never seen it, but it sounds good. To be the foodie or not to be. Millennials, Generation Y, have dubbed the foodie generation, more than any other generation. Millennials engage and connect with food, whether it's tasting a new gourmet restaurant or seeking the best ingredients for the recipes. I would agree.
Yes.
I
My
would agree.
generation is definitely the foodie generation.
Yeah, it's the experience. Oh, yes, let's go out to eat. They have this different kind of food here. They have this sushi, but it's made with this. And this is different. This is not like the others. You
Yeah.
know? It's different. And the word of the week is snack. Now, I suspect it doesn't mean the same thing. So snack must mean something that gives you a fulfilling feeling or experience.
Let's find out. Up.
What happened? Slang for a handsome or beautiful person. Well, you know, I was almost there. That's what it means, everybody. All right, let me share some things with you while we're here. Apple Blossom Festival. Get your pen out, your calendar out. Apple Blossom Festival and Craft Fair coming up on May 18th. May 18th starts this way. We're having the recycling event at the DPW on the 18th. And this is from 9 to 1, and they're going to have the paper shredder there. I'll give you more information, but I just want you to clock this in on your calendar. Then the Apple Blossom Festival and Craft Fair from 10 to 4. And the Butterfly release at 2 p.m., live entertainment, crafters, kids' activities, don't miss it. Then at night is Party with a Purpose. This is with Michael's Run for mental health. And they raise a ton of money locally. Fidelity Bank is a huge contributor. And this is coming up. Put it on your calendar. Party with a Purpose. It's always a good party. I guarantee you that. 978-534-1626. Just about 9 minutes left here at the show. So Memorial Day starts like this. We meet downtown the Common. We should be done. We're hoping, maybe not. We're like, it's starting to speed up, renovations to the Common. But if not, we'll make provisions. But anyway, we start there, and we go to every cemetery and pay tribute to every single veteran. Then we go to Evergreen Cemetery. We do the same thing. But then we have a procession. Some people call it a parade. I call it a procession. And that goes to Carter Park. It makes some stops along the way to salute the heroes along the way, and other cemeteries like Evergreen Cemetery and Pine Grove and all of them. But this year they're adding something different. They're trying to get kids involved in, so what is Memorial Day? Because if you start off young and you understand what Memorial Day is, it becomes a part of your tradition. As an adult, it'll continue to be part of your tradition. In fact, your children or nephews and nieces or whoever, friends or whatever, will also participate. And this is when all of the flags get posted to each grave of every veteran here in the city of Leominster and also around the country. It's a powerful day. So we're encouraging kids to participate, to decorate your bike, your, your wagon, your wheelchair, whatever it is, and meet us at Evergreen Cemetery at 10:30, and we're going to make you part of the procession. Don't forget the new hours at the Drop-Off Center at AKS in Fitchburg, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays for recycling and yard waste. Don't forget to get the yard waste picked up. When you get a day and it's not windy and it's nice, get it picked up. People wait too long, and then it gets to be the last week. It's windy, and it's raining, and you're out there trying to bag leaves and yard waste. All right, Citizen of the Year. If you have somebody that you think should be Citizen of the Year, you can make that nomination by sending it to we have an application here, but you can send it off to the mayor's office. And it has to be done by June 7th. Graduation this year is June 1. LTV's there. Yes, LTV is there. So somebody else, another part of the country, another part of the world, can't be there, just click on LTV or Leominster.tv.
Leominster.tv.
And our newsletter, they do such a beautiful job at the Senior Center. Seniors in Leominster doesn't mean I'm old. It means you have seniority. And this newsletter is just incredible. There's so many things to do in it. Puzzles and little memory things. It's outstanding. Got to pick it up. We have them at City Hall and they have them to visit at the Senior Center. Now, it's happening in Leominster. So what we've done is there are a lot of social media sites. And some of them, it ends up a battle. You know, people get critical. They say things that people get insulted and they feel bad and they take it personal. So we came up with this site, and it's called It's Happening in Leominster. It's for one thing, things that are happening in Leominster. So it's not there to bash anybody or be critical of anything. It's really positive Leominster. And, you know, I was looking at a town the other day because I always like to look and see what other people are doing. And I looked, and they also have a site. And this is like this really nice, high-end town. You couldn't think of a thing to knock it for. And there's a whole, just like us, there's a whole pages of people that are just trashing the town, the people, everything that happens, whatever. So you can go to our Facebook site, and the newest one is It's Happening in Leominster. And everything that's in there, whether it's grand openings or visits that we've made, but you can now be a sponsor, you know. You could be a sponsor for It's Happening in Leominster. And you could call Amanda Curtis at 978-962-3541. And you could, it's very affordable. So there you go. All right. Let's, we've only got 4 minutes left here, 5 minutes left. Let's give you some numbers. So we started with our morning briefings on Facebook. It's our 1,000th one today. And when we started, it was information. We're trying to get information out to people about COVID. Where to get a mask, what you could do not to spread it, what you could do not to get it, where you could go. Then, what kind of mask? Where could you get a mask? Could you get more than one mask? Well, how long should I wear my mask? Get information out. Then it was testing. Mall, Doyle Field, all these places. So we stood out. We had staff, personnel that stood out in the cold in the middle of winter to hand out those masks. Then it was school was closing, when you should go to school, when you shouldn't, when you go to work, when you shouldn't. Then everything came to a close and everything shut down. What's open, what's not. I'm at the hospital. I have a parent or a loved one that's not doing well. They're probably going to pass away and they won't let me in the hospital. Somebody has to have surgery. They will not let me. Is that? So we got involved in those kinds of things. Then came the vaccine. And then everybody wanted the vaccine. Not everybody, but it became a big thing. And it's, how do I get a vaccine? Where do I have to go? We had to explain that. There was a lot to explain. Businesses closed, schools closed, City Hall closed. Then we took the show, and we tried to keep it light. We actually went and did kind of fun things and try to lighten it up so that we weren't there to depress people. We were there to inform, provide a little information, and a happy family. And I think we did so. Then everything shifted to business could open and deal with you, what do they call it? Curbside pickup. So that we wanted to be there and inform people of what curbside pick was it, how you could go shopping, how much distance you had to stay away, and all of that. How long is my mask good? When do I get my next vaccine? And then we went out to the businesses as part of our morning briefing and actually did a little mini show from their business showing who they are, why they started their business, what their business is, what they sell or service, and how to get product from them. So we did all that. And then it became reading the numbers, discussing things that happen in town, and more of an informative with some entertainment. We played music and just sometimes we just yap. So a lot of people have made friendships over the years, didn't know each other. There were people that came today to a 1000th morning briefing that met each other for the first time, and I'm like, you didn't know each other? No. Well, you're on every day. I see that you watch this morning briefing. So thank you. And Tara brought out some refreshments, and Belladonna was there to host us, and we had a good day. It was a good day. We could reflect. And some couldn't make it, and we totally understand that. 488 is the number of people in 7 days that tested positive around the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. 5 cases here in Leominster, 6 deaths, 1 is too many. It's Brothers and Sisters Day. It's National Day of Prayer, Harry Potter Day, National Life Insurance Policy, National Life Insurance Day, National Truffle Day, World Password Day, and World Tuna Day. On this day in 1941, oh, you guys are flipping for me. Thank you. Yeah, I'll flip. There you go. 1941, the FCC approves regular scheduled commercial TV broadcast to begin July 1st. 1955, WGBH had 2 channels in Boston. They began broadcasting. 1964, the Beatles, with their second album, goes #1 and stays #1 for 5 weeks. 1988, Reds manager Peter Rose is suspended for 30 days for pushing an umpire. In 2019, drone delivers a kidney for a transplant surgery in Baltimore for the first time. 2019, the cast of The Big Bang Theory are the first TV actors to be immortalized in cement outside Hollywood's Chinese Theater in Los Angeles. Did you watch Big Bang?
Yeah.
I did. Now, we started off, Tara and I, we watched a little bit. Didn't go back. Then we went back. There was nothing on TV. And then somehow we just got sucked in. And the same thing with Young Sheldon, that we watched first. The same thing with Big Bang Theory, got sucked in. And what are the other ones? Parks and Rec. I think we're on our second round on that one. But yeah, Big Bang Theory. And I think it was only Sheldon decided at the last series before when they were about to film it, he didn't want to do it anymore. He just kind of like, yeah, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. So they kind of rushed the last series. So they had to, same thing with Schitt's Creek. They kind of rushed the last few. You guys watch Schitt's Creek? No. Big Bang Theory? Sheldon? Parks and Rec? What do you watch? So at the end, they kind of rushed Schitt's Creek. I thought it could have went on longer, but again, they decided, let's go out on a high note. And they did. And Big Bang Theory, I don't know, all of a sudden it went from fun and games and good times and still strong programming to, I don't want to give it away, but the last episode, you know what happens. Everybody gets married, or I don't want to tell people. So it started in 2019, and we just finished it. That's how long it takes us. And in 2023, 40-year-old U.S. weight loss company Jenny Craig announces it's going to close, failing to secure future financial backing. So we got 1 minute left here at Inside Leominster. Want to thank you. Thank you if you've watched our show, Inside Leominster, if you've watched our morning briefings. And now I'm just going to tell you something that nobody knows, that you're going to find out first right here. And I only have a second to do it. We closed on the rest of the land that we need for the rail trail. That's from the old Kentucky Fried Chicken down to Schofield's, and we also closed on the land on Pierce Street at the curve right there. So Leominster now, thank you to the taxpayers, we now own all that property. All right, out of time at Inside Leominster. Thank you for the whole crew that comes here each and every Thursday. Good night, God bless you, and remember the world is run by those who show up. Show up next week. Yeah, City Hall, 6 o'clock for our special episode of Light the Town Purple. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisInsuranceAgency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
This is LTV.